Hey, message in a bottle, video log, August 20th, 2018. Didn't do a video log last week because honestly I just was lazy and I didn't think I had anything that earth-shattering to talk about. We'll keep things brief. Work has leveled out. They have hired new people at Walmart to where there is a slightly less stressful situation, but ultimately it's not going back to the way things were, and that's the reason I'm continuing to look for work. Unfortunately, just filling out stuff online and waiting for a response is extremely passive on the sissy side of looking for work. It's not anything that I would brag about because it's why it took months one time to get another job. It's really one of the crappiest ways to look for work, but unfortunately when a lot of them don't have direct contact, it's harder. And I'm sure people that have no friends and they know how to research stuff would balk at that. But I'm sorry, it's just job hunting for me has just been a really crappy skill, and why I'm probably it's going to take longer than it should. But anyway, like I said, still looking. Quality over quantity. I'm more interested in one solid interview that'll lead to something than putting 20 to 30 applications and stuff I wouldn't even look twice at if the building was on fire. So, we'll see. Because I have to be honest, I escaped from one bad situation at the Mesa Gateway Airport, and I'm not really interested in staying in what I perceive for me is just an equally crappy situation. So, we're looking on. One thing I would mention that Hollywood Dead, a Sandman Slim novel, the latest of the Sandman Slim novels, is coming out August 28th, hard copy as well as audio. And the audio series has at this point been narrated by McLeod Andrews. This guy is awesome as far as developing the voice for Sandman Slim, who, if you don't know, is kind of an anti-hero. Though under all the gruffness and stuff, he does have a little bit of a code of honor. He's extremely sarcastic, and I like heroes that can be sarcastic and still manage to keep a straight face, because then the villain is just rolling their eyes like, great, I get to deal with a child and annoyance, and that's always fun. So he's coming out in about a week. I'm extremely excited by that. For those that are interested in that novel without getting heavily into the series, I can understand. You can either read or listen to, at this point, The Kill Society, which pretty much, honestly, even if you've never listened or heard of a Sandman story before, you could start getting in at that point and not be totally lost. Or so lost that they couldn't, keep going on what's going on. That was explained so damn well. Like I said, Kill Society, second to the last. Hollywood Dead just coming out now. And I, like I said, am very stoked. Wow, I had such intelligent things to say, and they're just, whoop, there it goes. That's the problem with doing these shifts that I work at Walmart is that I'm very tired at this point. Because honestly, to get any real sleep, I need to be on a work night in bed anywhere from 4 to 6. Which, getting up at 2:30, 3 in the morning, kind of people are like, what? You gotta go to bed that early? Yeah, fortunately I do. So right now my energy levels, even with food and a little coffee in the system, is not super high. So you're going to have to forgive me. I don't have a lot of intelligent dialogue going in my head. Because obviously anyone who understands Sandman Slim, has read the novels, or listened to the audiobooks, understands what a strange, unique world that happens to be by Richard Cadre. So that's something worthwhile. I said throwing that out. And something else. There's a series I want to call. I'm probably not getting it right. I think it's Haunted Items, Haunted Collectibles, or something to that effect. It reminds me very much of the old Friday the 13th series, which had a very similar thing back in the 80s. It is now. And the first book is called Collecting Death by Ron Ripley. And even though some of the dialogue and the way that he writes isn't what I would call reality, you wouldn't see that in a movie or TV, which I know isn't necessarily, the best way to approach a book. But my feeling is unless you can do it on the silver screen or the big screen in a way that just seems like it's reality, then how you talk and move and describe things then makes you think, well, then this is basically through the author's eyes, and something you'd need to change around. But the whole idea, is, like I said, very much like the original series, Friday the 13th. An older man, a Vietnam vet, has been collecting cursed and possessed objects for decades, using techniques similar to the Lanchester brothers in Supernatural. And he's looking, I guess you could say, to bring on a protege, someone to help him, because that person's wife was killed by a possessed bear, by a sadist, a German sadist from World War I. So if nothing else, the diversity of the bad guys, ghosts involved, are pretty high. These are pretty scary things. Even after 13 seasons of Supernatural, just this one book are things that you would not want to have to deal with in real life at all. And it's hard not to be a little angry at these things. Not that the authors are doing something wrong, it's just that I hate it when it seems that only evil, and I'm not even just talking a little evil, I'm talking extreme evil, Hitler-level evil, is allowed to come back and keep doing more evil and causing more death and more pain, and there's no karma, there's no payback, there's no justice. Which is, why I never really got into the Freddy movies and had extreme issues with the, movies like The Grudge, where it just seemed like no matter what, evil always wins and good people die and they're screwed and there's no recourse, there's no recompense, there's nothing. And I'm a little like the psalm writer that just crying out to God going, how can you allow this to be? How can you allow this level of evil to exist? But, thankfully these are just stories, and it seems for the most part that even though weird things do happen, that we don't seem to have ghosts going on murderous rampage, on the scale that you see in Supernatural or even in the books I just mentioned. Food for thought is just something, for me, it's just personal insight. I just hate it when it just seems that no matter what, evil wins, and evil wins epically. Only the bad guy can come back. Good guys die and they're boned. That's it. 3 points of a prayer, they're in the grave. But the bad guy, he can come back as much as he wants. He's worse than Satan, running loose, causing more death, and it's just like, I understand you want to, keep a story going, but, at some point you're just like, seriously? Where the F is all the justice here? And, like I said, just throwing that out. Like I said, I tend to be bothered by things like that because, I feel a lot of times I've been victimized myself in various jobs, and some cases I've gotten payback. I've gotten my just desserts. I've gotten to where I can walk away saying I won, even though they did evil. Other times I'm still kind of waiting for what I feel is karmic payback on the jobs that didn't go so well. But hey, I suppose we're all paying for a little something. Anyway, don't have any video footage to show you. Next month, Life is Strange 2 is coming out. I'm hoping to be able to either get a single episode or the whole season. I happen to like its free demo now available on Xbox One and PS4 called The Adventures of Captain Spirit. And it's about a young kid named Kevin, and like I said, you will fall in love with this little guy. He's just got a heart of gold. I mean, I'm not much for kids. I really don't really like kids all that much, to be honest with you. Or people. 20 years of retail, give me a break. The fact that I'm not, an active shooter is, by God's grace that I'm just not nuts. But like I said, that being said, Adventures of Captain Spirit, Kevin is the is the kid's name, and he has just got a good soul. He really does. You know, it's just one of those kids you see in a movie, TV series, or life, and you're just like, you just want to protect and nourish that spirit, because you figure that when they get to be an adult, they are just going to do amazing and good things. And interested in that. Like I said, nothing else coming out in the next month and a half that really warrants any attention. I may have some footage down the road of other things, but like I said, I'm looking for work, and for me that has to take priority over everything else. But not to the extent where I'm not going to maybe play a video game or two like I did last time I looked for work. It's just I have to prioritize, you know, even with this half-ass, you know, waiting for people to contact me nonsense. So, like I said, things are decent. My brother was pretty sick last week, so I'm glad he's feeling better. That was kind of a scare. He's living in Oregon now, and you know, there's not much more we can do other than talk. Nothing really pressing that has to be said. Like I said, signing off. And of course, if anyone does happen to shift to these things and decide, hey, I want to watch this, I appreciate it. This wasn't done with the intent that anyone had to watch it. So if you do happen to watch it, just want you to know I really do appreciate it, because nothing feels better than at least know that you've been heard. Anyway, sign off and have a good one.